Hey, y'all. It's been quite the journey out here, you know what I'm saying? Renaissance the poet here. I'm on my way to this restorative justice training this morning. Gonna get down with our people. It's gonna have a real deep spiritual basis. I went to this one last night, and it was a little interesting. It was very, the only way I can put it is secular in nature. It was a group of white folks, well-meaning, but they had definitely taken what could have been a really spiritual, connective, community-building practice and turned it into purely a conflict resolution, facilitation methodology. That there was no talking piece. It didn't go around in a circle. There were no elements of the earth. There was no real connection to where the trainings actually come from. It was awkward. It had a basis in nonviolent communication, and I think that nonviolent communication has its point and its purpose and some of its benefits, but those benefits also come with a very problematic nature that is associated with tone policing and who has the right to say what and when. And I haven't had very good experiences, and I've had a lot of experiences with the people who promote nonviolent communication, in that the people who do promote that often tend to be some of the most harmful people in our communities. And I don't know whether or not that is a way that they try to justify getting away with their problematic behavior so that nobody can check them and challenge them, but they end up embedding this defense mechanism inside of a social justice language. Anyhow, so I went there and I did it, and I went with an open mind, not to like protest or challenge or check them, but I needed an open reference to be able to be like, yo, I've seen some things that work, I've seen some things that don't, and without getting too prescriptive into what these people do in their own communities, aside from my arguments about cultural appropriation, and that really is like taking without any real knowledge of where it comes from, or really practicing or giving credit to either the spiritual practices or the people with whom it came from. I really do believe in self-determination and community determination, and if it works in their community, then they need that shit. But when we're talking about white folks, we're talking about cultural appropriation. White, one, is not an ethnicity, and it's not a culture. And the real basis of the white political power, aside from the fucking political structure of the system that we live in, is the co-optation of other cultures and practices. So I've got some issues. That being said, I'm really excited about what I'm getting ready to go get into today, because it's an opposite. And, it's an about face. It's a connection to a lineage that reaches back into our historical and ancestral roots, with a real firm grasp and connection on our connection to the earth. And if we're not moving forward in that way, then we're going to end up with all of the same problems that we've ended up with before. So yeah, I'm dope. I'm just kind of trying to track out a little bit about what I'm doing, how I'm doing, because I'm moving so fast right now. I don't actually have time to write all this down, and all of it's happening like in real time with bodies. So, there's no books, there's no notes, there's no classes. Most of this is all practice and what we get from it. So anyhow, I love y'all. Power to the people. Renaissance out.